All right, I'm the coach, Brian Wright. I am here with the announcer for DBX, Michael Hanson. Michael, thank you for hopping on with me today. It's fight week, buddy.
Sure is, Brian. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
You get to put on your fancy suit and get into the ring and figure out how to pronounce 23 different names. I always find that a massive skill. I have so much trouble saying these names, but you've got 23 of them and you got one chance to bang them out right.
Yeah, I mean, some are hard, some are tricky, some are harder than they look. Nothing's ever that hard. The hardest ones are like fighters from like China whose actual pronunciation includes sounds that I've never even heard before.
So let me ask you a question on your cards, because I know
Yeah.
you have no cards. So do you write them out? Do you have like a code to get the sounding right?
Yeah, for trickier names, I know phonetics, so I can just quickly just write them out phonetically, and I glance down at it as they're usually walking out or something like that. If it's a trickier name, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's it. And names that are very intimidating at first, but are actually quite easy, are Russian names. So all of the Nurmagomedovs and all those kinds of names, they're all easy. It's all consonant vowel, consonant vowel. It's all easy.
That's cool. I mean, that is your job. It is,
Yeah.
you have to have your tricks of the trade. I sit there and I wade through deep waters of trying to figure out the names. I think last broadcast, I think there were a couple fighters I said their name different every single time I had to say it because I get confused with the names. I'm not the linguistic master that you are at this point, but I'm
And it's
working
a
on
fun
it.
part
I'm
of the job.
trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
It's
I'm
good.
trying.
Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
So we have some names on this card. I want to hop in because it is fight week. More than anything, my curiosity is what are the fights that you are most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to almost every fight, pretty much every fight on the main card for sure, with a few other standout fighters and matchups throughout the prelims. I'll start off. I think we're all on the same page in terms of really looking forward to this co-main event between Montavious Ware and UFC veteran Luis Saldana. Saldana is the MMA guy. I quickly jotted down his stats and his records. Overall, pro MMA, Luis Saldana is 18-7 with one draw, 2-1 and 1 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA. He won his fight on the Contender Series, and he's 1-0 in DBX now returning for his second fight in DBX. And the guy's a finisher. Of his 18 pro wins in mixed martial arts, 16 of those 18 wins have come by way of knockout or submission. So the guy is a killer. He's looking for the finish, and he's taking his striking skills up against a guy with more of, we could say, a pure boxing pedigree in Montavious Ware. Montavious Ware is short, built, stocky, and very explosive, 4-0 as a pro boxer, and now 1-0 in DBX. So both guys are making their second appearance in DBX. We have elite MMA striking and finishing going up against pure boxing pedigree and a guy who looked very good, very explosive in his DBX debut. And this one is sure to be fireworks in the co-main.
So you just said it all.
Thanks.
That was great. You dotted the I's across the T's in every way that I possibly can't. I 100% agree with you. I think my question going into this is, does Ware have the breakout performance back to back and establish himself as the man to beat in his division? That's what I want to see. That's the drama and the curiosity side of me is, okay, new sport, new names, new faces. Are we going to go back to back? Are we going to see the speed? Are we going to see the brutality that he brought last time? Because last time there was creativity and skill with this rule set that was just captivating. We all walked out of there going, wow, that was something special. Do we see it again? And yeah, if we do, for sure, he's the guy that we need to know more about. Where's he from? What does he do? I want to know what he eats for breakfast. I'm curious, who is this guy now?
Yeah,
This
his
is a future star for DBX in the making, or is Saldana going to come in and crash the party, or are they both going to have a war similar to what Felipe and his last opponent did? Please, it's escaping me at this moment. You remember this from the last card, Felipe versus...
Which Felipe? Kevin Felipe?
Yes, versus
John Jones. John C. Jones.
in the last fight. That was, those two walked out of there. I think that both of them, their stocks rose. I think it was a great fight. So we're going to see, is one going to rise, one going to fall, or are they both going to rise because they put on fireworks? That's what I want to see. And that's what's so cool about DBX. That's what's so good about the matchmaking. That's what's so good about the rules.
One thing's for sure, we all want to see it go, well, the distance, but as a war with both guys having their moments. But I think if Montavious Ware can style on Luis Saldana the way he did in his DBX debut, we really do have a star in the making and one
Yes.
of our biggest early stars in this new sport.
I also think that Jaleel Willis is a fighter that he landed a knockout that was so clean in
Mhm.
Nashville. If we see the precision from him again, I think we're going to see another knockout. I'm curious to see what he does. He's a fighter, I believe he's on the undercard on this, but he's somebody that I am very interested in to see what's this next performance going to be. I want to see does history get to repeat itself? Do we get to see some progress in these guys? And then Sung Jun Lee is another one. I think this is someone that got a lot of momentum in his last fight. Does he continue the momentum? That's the storyline for me here. Where Saldana's the fight that I'm like, okay, that's the fight. But then there are guys that we've seen before that I just want to see,
Mhm.
okay, are we making progress here? Or is this rule set evolving with them? Are they really solidifying themselves as contenders in DBX? That's what I want to see.
Speaking of progress, Brian, another fight I'm very much anticipating, perhaps for the spectacle of it, I'm just curious, is Tibaba Progress out of Germany taking on Blake Lacaz? Because both fighters are listed at 6'7". I've also seen Progress listed at 6'8" in some outlets, but this is going to be skyscrapers in
That
our tiny, dirty boxing ring.
Now it's really funny though, because they're both so tall. Normally in fights like this, one guy has a big time height advantage and then it becomes this
Mhm.
weird event. But what's it going to be like with two twin towers? You know, we've got these massive guys going. So is it going to be like two smaller guys equally matched and we're going to have to wait to see if the height difference matters against somebody else, but I think
Right.
it'll be interesting. I don't know if either one of them have actually faced somebody their own size before too, which is another question we have to see answered out here.
Probably not, right? I mean, you make a great point of like, are we actually gonna see these two giant men both kind of unsure as to like how to approach this fight in the ring with somebody who is eye to eye with them for the first time in each of their fighting careers?
Yeah, and again, these are the questions that need to get answered and why we need to tune in and why we're flying down to Florida to go put on this event. This is the cool part about DBX. I think, again, the matchmaking, everybody on the card has a chance. I don't think the records reflect the opportunities that we're seeing in every case. You see some guys, you go on Tapology, a lot of losses, a lot of wins. But I know that these are not fights of convenience. These are fights that are being designed for action. The rules are designed for action. And yeah, I am super excited to get away from this cold northeastern weather. And you're even more north and more cold. And we get to have an adult spring break
Yeah.
in Miami, Florida. So it's going to be an interesting time. So
At least for a
Mike,
couple days, get to
for a
have
couple
some warmth.
days. Yes, a
Yeah.
couple days of warmth, and then we'll come back home and pray for spring to come early. But Mike,
Yeah.
look, man, I'm super excited about this week. I wanted to get your insight on that. I really like your take on where this is going. And yeah, man, I really look forward to sitting ringside while you get yourself in there. You make your calls. We watch these fights and we see what's history going to bring for DBX this time.
DBX 6, the show keeps rolling forward. I think DBX is only going to be getting bigger and bigger throughout 2026 and beyond, man. It's going to be a fun ride.
I think this is going to be a wild year for DBX. I know there's a lot of events in the making, and we don't specifically know what's coming next, but I think the one after this one is going to be even bigger. These events just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's going to be cool. This is a great time for DBX, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you down there and calling the action. All
You
right,
got it,
Mike,
man.
thanks for hopping on with me today, and I'll see you in a couple days, man. Peace.
Thanks, Brian. Peace.